All right, about to hit some back and biceps. Today we're lifting at the house, so I'm gonna take some pre-workout and I'll see you down in the basement. What are you doing, buddy? All right, so starting off, I usually like to warm up with some super light deadlifts or some good mornings. I feel like getting my lower back warmed up before doing heavy barbell rows is really important for me because I do have a lot of lower back pain. My lower back is often a limiting factor when it comes to like my barbell rows, even some cable rows with like a clothes bar or something. So I feel like warming up my lower back is really important. After I warm up with this, I'll usually start with some sort of 2-arm dumbbell row because I feel like that hits my lats a lot more. And then once I'm done warming up with that, I usually move over to a barbell row, try to get more of my rhomboids, because I feel like unless I'm doing underhand, which really limits the weight that I can do, I don't feel barbell rows in my lats that much. Maybe that's because I don't have that much lat development, so I just can't feel it as much. But really, the exercises that I feel my lats most in are bent over rows with the dumbbells or pullovers. Those cable pullovers are like my favorite exercise. Oh, okay, we're gonna start off with some light deadlifts. I think my bar is only 22. It's not a standard Olympia bar or anything, and then these are 25s. So, I mean 50, 72. So not much weight at all. But what we're really gonna focus on is rounding our back and really flexing our spinal erectors. Yeah, so I feel like whenever I'm doing these where I have my back rounded, the most important thing is keeping my legs locked and my hips locked. So whenever I come up, I'm flexing with my back and then I'm bringing my shoulders high. So there's kind of, you know, that reverse arch in my back. And I feel like that is the best for flexing your spinal erectors. And you can really feel these if you've never done them before, so you gotta be careful with the weight. I never do more than 100 pounds on these. All right, next to warm up our lower back, we're gonna do some good mornings. Now, usually I would either do 2 sets of the rounded deadlifts or I'll do 2 sets of these. These I feel like are probably safer because it's a lot less range of motion. Yeah, I would say they're safer. I mean, both you have to go pretty light with, I feel like. These you can probably go a little heavier with, depending on your form and your capabilities. You know, if you're a pro deadlifter, I'm sure you can do those way heavier than I could. I really don't go to failure on these. It's more just a warm-up exercise, you know? Same way you wouldn't go to failure on a rotator cuff exercise before you work out or something. But these, you definitely have to go slower with these. The technique, I feel like, is more important. It's easier to feel it on the deadlifts, but these are just less range of motion, so it's less taxing on you, I feel like. But I'll go ahead and do a set of these. I'll try to turn a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more. I'm trying to keep my shoulders high. Ugh. I'm pushing my hips backwards. I'm not moving my legs really. Just trying to push my hip backwards. I'm trying to keep my shoulders high, you know. Kind of that reverse arch like we were doing with the other deadlifts. All right. So as you can see, I don't really go to failure on those. It's just a good warm-up exercise, so let's get to the workout. First real exercise we're gonna do is some bent over rows with the dumbbells. These are my favorite because they really make me feel my lats like no other exercise does, to be honest. I'm trying to keep a 90-degree on my back. And then I'm like kind of going straight down by my side to really stretch my lats. Oh, those make me feel like my lat is about to rip off, dude. My goodness. Okay, I ended up doing 3 sets of the standing dumbbell rows, and 1 set of the incline bench dumbbell rows where I'm on the bench. So now I'm gonna do some rows with the barbell, but instead of, being at a 45, I'm gonna try to stay at a 90 degree, work my rhomboids more. Got 112 on the bar. I'm gonna go ahead and put my straps on, even though it's not really heavy, because with these I want to keep a really strict form since I'm trying to stay at 90 degrees, and there's no point of prematurely exhausting my arms and forearms before I work on biceps. So it's time to start working on some biceps. I'm gonna do some seated curls with 20 pounds to start off, and then we'll probably move on to some hammers. I don't know if I'm gonna go up in weight or not, but we'll just see.